What if I told you that one of the most powerful football stars in the world, a player nicknamed the Emperor, would one day face struggles so big that rumors of homelessness started to swirl? This is the story of Adriano, a football hero who seemed unstoppable on the field, but faced battles off it that were far greater than any game. From his early days in the streets of Brazil, to the peak of his fame in Europe, and then to the challenges that followed, Adriano's story is one of triumph, heartbreak, and lessons that will keep you thinking long after the final whistle. Stay with me as we go through the rise, fall, and the deeper lessons behind Adriano's journey. Adriano Lara Ribeiro was born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, a city known for its love of football, but also its tough neighborhoods. Growing up in the favelas taught him to be strong and fight for what he wanted. Football wasn't just a game for Adriano, it was a way out, a chance at a better life. Even as a young boy, it was clear he was special. He had a powerful left foot and a drive that set him apart. Local coaches and teammates saw that he had something rare, raw talent mixed with the determination to win. He started playing for Flamengo, where his skills quickly stood out. He played with a kind of passion that made people watch him and think, this kid could be great. And they were right. It wasn't long before scouts from Europe came knocking, eager to bring this rising star to the biggest stages of football. But fame comes with challenges, and Adriano would soon find that out. When Adriano moved to Europe and joined Inter Milan, his career reached new heights. He was fast, strong, and his powerful shots made goalkeepers nervous every time he had the ball. Fans called him the Emperor, a name that showed just how dominant he was on the field. One of his most famous moments was during a match where he scored an incredible long-range goal, a shot so powerful it seemed almost unreal. It was plays like these that made people believe he could become one of the greatest forwards in history. Playing for Brazil's national team, he delivered the same power and skill. He scored in important games and helped Brazil win titles, further cementing his place as a football star. At this point, it looked like nothing could stop him. He was at the top of the football world, admired by fans, teammates, and even rivals. But behind the scenes, everything wasn't as perfect as it seemed. While Adriano was scoring goals and winning games, he was facing battles that couldn't be seen on the field. The hardest blow came when his father, who was his hero and biggest supporter, passed away. This loss shook Adriano to his core. Those who knew him said he was never the same after that day. The pain was deep, and it started to affect everything, from his mood to his performance in training and games. As time went on, reports came out that Adriano was skipping training and losing focus. The media picked up on this, creating stories and spreading rumors, but few people knew just how much he was struggling inside. This was a time when mental health wasn't talked about as much as it is now, so Adriano's pain went largely unnoticed by the public. And soon, those struggles would start to show in his career. Adriano tried to push through the pain and keep playing at the top level, but it wasn't easy. He moved between different teams, including going back to Brazil to play for Flamengo and Corinthians. But even at home, surrounded by familiar faces, he couldn't find the same form that had once made him a star. Injuries, inconsistent performances, and personal problems followed him wherever he went. Each attempt to get back to his peak seemed to fall short. He faced criticism for his lifestyle choices and how they were affecting his career. While he had moments of brilliance on the field, they were rare, and the player who was once the Emperor started to fade from the spotlight. But things would take an even more surprising turn. In recent years, stories started to circulate about Adriano's life off the field. There were reports that he was struggling financially and had even faced the possibility of being homeless. Friends and former teammates spoke about how he had distanced himself from football and lived a life far from the wealth and fame he once knew. While some of these stories were exaggerated, they pointed to a real problem. Adriano's challenges didn't end when he left the field. Financial mismanagement, a lifestyle that was hard to maintain, and a distance from the sport that once brought him stability all contributed to his difficult situation. This part of his story is a wake-up call and shows how quickly things can change, even for someone who once had it all. But what can we learn from Adriano's life? Adriano's early life showed us that natural talent can take you far, but it's not the whole story. He had an incredible left foot and a powerful play style that turned heads early in his career. The lesson here? Talent is just the starting point. Hard work and dedication are what keep you at the top. Adriano's struggles after the death of his father remind us that mental health is just as important as physical health. No matter how successful someone seems, they can still face emotional pain and challenges. This teaches us that taking care of our mental health should be a priority, even when everything seems fine on the outside. Even with fame, money, and the admiration of millions, Adriano faced deep personal struggles. His story shows us that success on the surface doesn't always mean happiness underneath. Real fulfillment comes from within and from finding balance in life. Despite facing personal loss and criticism, Adriano made multiple attempts to revive his career. His story tells us that setbacks don't have to mean the end. Resilience, pushing forward when things are hard, is a strength that matters in any area of life. Adriano's journey reminds us of the weight fame brings. The world watched and judged him, sometimes without understanding what he was going through. This teaches us that fame can be both a gift and a burden, and it's important to have support when facing public pressure. Adriano's career highlights the importance of having people who support you. Friends, family, and teammates who are there in tough times can make a huge difference. This teaches us that building a strong network of support is vital for overcoming life's challenges. Despite his success and wealth, Adriano's struggles showed that money and fame don't guarantee stability or happiness. The lesson here is that true success is about more than what's in your bank account. It's about finding peace and purpose. One of the greatest lessons from Adriano's life is that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. If he had found the right support at the right time, his story might have been different. This teaches us that asking for help when we need it is powerful and necessary. Adriano was known for his humble roots and always remembering where he came from. Even at the peak of his career, he stayed connected to his community. Staying humble, no matter how successful you become, keeps you grounded and focused on what really matters. Perhaps the biggest lesson from Adriano's story is that life can change in ways we don't expect. From being a celebrated football star to facing challenges off the field, his life showed that we should never take our moments of success for granted and should always be prepared for life's ups and downs. Adriano faced intense media scrutiny during his career, which added to his stress and personal battles. His story teaches us that public pressure can amplify personal struggles. This lesson is a reminder that we should be more compassionate toward public figures, understanding that they, too, face their own private battles. Despite his struggles, Adriano tried multiple comebacks and made efforts to find his place both on and off the field. While things didn't always go as planned, his story shows us that it's okay to step back, change direction, and try to find a new path. Reinventing yourself can be difficult, but it's also a brave and important part of moving forward. Adriano's story is more than just a rise and fall. It's a lesson for everyone. It shows us that mental health is just as important as physical health. No matter how strong or successful someone looks, they could be dealing with battles that aren't easy to see. For young athletes and people chasing big dreams, Adriano's life is a reminder that fame and money don't guarantee happiness or stability. Balance is key. Taking care of your mind is just as important as taking care of your body. It also teaches us the importance of having a strong support system and the courage to seek help when things get tough. Adriano's story encourages us to see beyond the headlines and remember that there's a person behind every athlete. His journey, with all its highs and lows, is a call for empathy, understanding, and support for those who might be facing their own unseen struggles. As we reflect on the ups and downs of Adriano's career, one thing remains clear. He left a mark that goes beyond goals and victories. His journey is a lesson in both the highs of ambition and the lows of facing personal demons. So, the next time you hear his name, remember the man behind the legend and the lessons he left for all of us. What do you think is the most important lesson from Adriano's story? Let us know in the comments, and if you found this video meaningful, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more powerful stories from the world of football.